Game version 0.21.02 as of writing this analysis. Princess and Conquest is a haha funny RPG maker game developed by Tower KC and published by Critical Bliss. At a glance, the game has a strong likeness to the Tower Girls Choose Your Own Adventure game by GATS, mainly because said creator was originally working on the game as an official game for the series. Though due to some disagreements with the direction the game was heading, GATS has pulled his support from 2017 onwards and revoked the game's connections to their series' universe. I will not look further into this. In short, the game is not part of the same universe, and if you would like some Tower Girls, Chivalric Games is working on an official video game. Now, moving on. The game is set in a giant kingdom ruled by the Dragon Queen, and across this game's world are reigns under the rule of princesses. Though on a side note, it kind of confuses me that princesses should be a title given to those who have or used to have their own reign, but there are many who I believe never really had one. So that leads me to the belief that the qualification for the title is just being physically capable of wearing a crown. Going back to the game, the player takes the role of a wandering knight who travels the region in search of adventure and people to help. The introduction has you helping Kobold Princess with an intruder in their reign's mines. You fail horribly, leaving Kobold Princess without a reign nor home, so she decides to join you on your adventures. You are essentially thrown into the game after the introduction. Not much is explained and you are to find things out by yourself. Though from the start you may be able to reach almost any area of the game, given some limitations or drawbacks compared to using certain means that you may unlock throughout your gameplay. The core gameplay loop is that you spend the day exploring about, completing quests, or helping out the different reigns. By night, you may level up and or view scenes. Eventually, you may find or be rewarded with something that will help you progress your story. In terms of mechanics, there may be too much to discuss, so let's just cut it down to the basics. Princess and Conquest is a classic RPG, with the usual stats, abilities, and classes that come with those games. The player may choose their type of knight, each with different abilities, then allocate their own stats as well as those of their party members to better suit different playstyles. For a first playthrough, I would recommend the Guild Knight trait, for its ability to let you take more quests in a day, for early game resource gathering. In addition to this, spread across the region are the princesses and the reigns. In the game, you can see a reign's opinion of your character and other princesses, which will affect their interactions with the both of you. And based on their standing, wars may start and some interactions may pop up or be locked out. Leaving a war alone may end up with the reigns disappearing completely, and depending on the player's goals, they may choose to restore peace between reigns or aid one side in eradicating the other. Though having reigns standing does sound good, and the right thing to do, I have heard that you may also benefit from having some reigns fall. To even influence a reign, you'll need to have a good standing, which is usually improved by fighting their battles or mingling with other people from that reign. For leveling up, the developers have chosen a system similar to the works of From Software. By night, you set up camp and may choose to use up a certain amount of the game's currency to level up. In Princess and Conquest, instead of being required to pay it all at once, you can just put in little by little until you eventually put in enough to level up. Which I guess is to make sure that the amount you have been preparing does not get lost when you fall in battle. Now, the main goal of the game is to get an ending, any kind. Though the introduction starts the player off with a kobold princess in need of help, you're not actually required to help her. There are many places and actions that may push the player towards different paths in their story, and once certain conditions are met, the game will make it clear that you are entering a route. And once you do accept, or you finally given a clear goal, then it's a straight path to the end of the game. In terms of adult content, there is a lot. But surprisingly, the majority are entirely optional. From my experience, there's only a few tied to the story, which made it feel special on my first playthroughs of Brawl. Kobold Princess is very precious. Story-wise, there seems to be an attempt at tying in this content to have relevance in the game's narrative. Though not important most times, there is a corruption stat, which according to some characters in the game is the gauge of a person's depravity. A princess has a visible meter and once full undergoes succubization, which locks them out of being a playable party member for the rest of the playthrough. And though there is also a hidden meter for the corruption of the player's game itself, slowly changing the world based on the player's debauchery, until fog blankets the kingdom and eventually brings forth the end of the world. I guess I can wrap things up now. So in summary, the game follows the classic RPG formula, so there would be a lot of repetitive actions. They also do not explain much to you, so unless you like going around exploring or interacting with every important looking thing, this game will take a while. It's not for everyone. The adult content has some relevance to the story and is easy to avoid, which is nice of the developers. It is also nice of them to put many things in the settings to help reduce wait times, such as setting the length of an in-game day and how long it takes for princesses to produce an heir. Personally, I also believe that the different kinds of knights don't feel different enough. Only a select few truly feel different from the others, though that may be a result of the very simple combat. And speaking of combat, I would also appreciate it if the primary skill can change as well. Shield is nice and all, but my combat style feels the same for almost every playthrough. Well, since it's the only skill the knight can get, you know? Anyways, the large amount of routes in the game is well appreciated. I personally enjoyed the stories as well, and there's small bits of it nearly everywhere. The different routes in addition to knight types and party members greatly adds to their replayability, but do not really help in making one forget the repetition in most of the gameplay. That should be all. And now that this is technically off the record, I will judge you if you do not have Kobold Princess's route as your first. I'll even push you to the path right now. Alright, so to start her route, you'll need Kobold Princess to have a love stat of at least 5. Having her equip the Sacred Candle Dowry adds 2, so you just need to get 3 more from levels. The first quest is given by talking to her in the camp after previously talking to her on a rainy night. Complete that quest and wait a few days. After that, she'll be okay with entering the ruins of her reign, where she asks you for your help in restoring the reign as her king. Okay, now this should be all for real this time. Goodbye.